Hey guys, it's Shadowboy here, and this is a 43 and 3 domination gameplay that sadly, and I hate to spoil it, we actually lose. And it's literally, we lose it, I think it's 199-200, and we lose it basically because my team can't hold the triple cab right at the end, you know. There are points in it where after looking at it I go, oh for fuck's sake, I definitely should have, you know, capped the flag, or maybe gone and capped a flag. But I mean, I was going, I'd had a really shit day on this game, and just basically just dying alone. Just wanted one good gameplay, and because it just happens, you know, you just play like shit. I really wanted a Moab, but unfortunately I couldn't get it. So I think I have about 217 kill streak, something silly. So it's actually quite a steady game, and the people I'm playing against are they're not actually that bad for once. But as you see, I've now picked up this gold ACR, and you all know by now that it is by far my favourite weapon. It just seems to just work for me, you know, especially silence, not a lot of recoil, and it's just beautiful. You can do things like that. But I'm not really here to talk about the gameplay that much. I actually want to, you know, talk about myself and my background in gaming. You know, I think I've always sort of been into games, and I can remember vividly when I was about, I'd say 5 or 6 maybe. We, my family decided we were going to get our first console, and they couldn't decide between the N64 or the PS1. And I think my dad actually had his heart on the N64, but for some strange reason decided while we were in the shop that we'll get the PlayStation 1 instead. So that was quite a surreal experience, or not surreal, sorry, like quite a cool, you know, moment when the games we had were Ace Combat, FIFA, and I think it was Rayman maybe, but maybe not Rayman. It might have been Gran Turismo 1. And I fell in love with Ace Combat. That was my first, you know, game of joy, and I was quite good at it. And you used to just fly around in my little plane and gun people the fuck down. And then, but I only used to play it casually. I remember the first game that I played properly was the Tomb Raider 2. And me and my dad used to spend hours together, sitting there in the lounge with the PlayStation, and both working towards it. And I seem to remember with the dragon, the thing that was fun, a boss. That's a big spoiler there if no one's ever actually played it, but you know, it's ancient now, so I'm assuming you all have. And you used to have to shoot this dragon, then pull the knife out from his chest, and it was just really fun. And I still remember that with me and my dad, because that was it. We were cheering, we were like, fuck yeah! So yeah, that was good. And then, that's all I can remember for the PS1 days, really. And then, for Christmas one year, the year the PS2 came out, my parents had surprised me with a PS2. Which was one of the best fucking surprises ever. I remember the reason that Christmas, I really wanted The Mummy on video, and they'd bought it for me on DVD, and I'd opened that first, and I was like, okay, cheers guys. And then, thankfully, they changed tactics. So I was opening a DVD-shaped box, and they quickly then changed me, and I had to open up the big box to unveil this PlayStation 2, which was just fucking brilliant. You know, I was the happiest little kid ever. And I don't really remember which launch games I had for the PS2, to be perfectly honest. Just more trying to think. Yeah, I don't really think there was that many. But the games that really stood out to me, the first one would have been Time Splitters. And personally, I do still hold that the Time Splitters series as a whole is my favourite FPS. You know, if they could bring a HD version on Xbox Live, I would drop COD in a heartbeat. And I'd be on there running around as that fucking monkey, just destroying people. Oh, and this is, I actually believe, where I died, unfortunately, for the first time. And I was sitting there going to myself, what the fuck am I still sitting up there? Just knowing I was going to die, and I was quite fucked off with myself here. But hey, never mind. And anyway, back to my my history. I remember my favourite game ever on the PS2 is Final Fantasy X. I remember I had borrowed 9 off my friend Dominic, and I'd fallen in love with it. But I never actually finished the game and never owned it. I just kind of played this game and I really, really fucking enjoyed it. And then it got to release their Fantasy X, and I nagged my mum, and I nagged, and I nagged, and I nagged. She actually gave in and got it for me. And the first time I played it, if any of you have played it, you get to this part where you lose unit, and you're on an airship, and you have to fight this big boss. I actually got stuck there, and I had to restart the whole game and finish it. And I actually did, even when I was that young, which is surprising because I wouldn't normally do that. But hey, I did, and it worked. And I finally then finished that game, and it was beautiful. And then I got 12, which is again a huge game for me. And then I remember I've actually missed a few here, which is my handheld games. But the only real big ones here is, I loved Link's Awakening. That was, for me, I was really, really good at it, and people used to give me their cartridges for the Game Boy, and I would do certain dungeons for them because I was just, I don't know, it was just something I was good at. And I bought it on the 3DS the other day, and I finished it in, I think, 6 hours, something stupidly short, because I still remembered where I had to beat every boss, where all the secrets were and everything. So that was a pretty fucking awesome moment. And then I had Pokemon, and I started on Red and Blue like everyone else. And then my auntie lives in Canada, and she was able to get me Yellow about 3 months before it came out in the UK. Which meant everyone envied me as I had already finished it with my Pikachu running around. But it gets better than that when my dad went to Japan and picked me up Pokemon Gold in Japanese. Now, I can't speak Japanese, and I definitely cannot read it, and even more so as a 10-year-old, or maybe no, must be about a 14-year-old boy. But hey, I managed to finish that game, and know to do the second date gyms, God knows how. I then begged my parents for an Xbox 360 for the Christmas that came out, and they got it, which was quite a nice surprise really. But I didn't get, live straight away, and I basically just played single player games, because around the same time my friend Jamie had introduced me to RuneScape, where my character was Revelo 101, which is my name Oliver, backwards 101, and this was my my name for quite some time, and I must have played that for a good 2-3 years until World of Warcraft came out. Now, that was where the majority of my gaming lies, assuming as I did play it from release all the way up until Wrath of the Lich King, like the Burning Crusade, and I'd beaten every boss including Illidan. And that's actually where the name Shadow Boy comes from. And I played a druid, and I was a tank and a healer. But that was a major part of my gaming history. But I don't really want to press on it too much, because it's it's a game that not everyone sort of knows, and don't have that much time left for gameplay. And after WoW, I kind of went back to the console, and I think it was Call of Duty 4 with 1 month's free Xbox Live, and I put it in, and I fell in love. But unfortunately, I just didn't have that much time to play live at the time. I don't really know why, but I didn't. So I still didn't catch on, even though I completely fell in love. And I then got live properly near the end of the World at War, but again, I never had that, and I literally just had COD 4. And I think I only actually, just to show you how little I played that game, I only prestiged or leveled up to the prestige when I heard that you get a prestige token for this game. So I was a long way behind. I then got Modern Warfare 2, our midnight release, if I remember correctly. Oh no, that was Black Ops. No, yeah, I did get that one at midnight release actually, sorry. But I really enjoyed that. And I used to be a, you know, a quick-scoping little fag, and I was actually shit at the game. I will not lie. And it wasn't until... Well, it wasn't until recently actually when I started calling nukes and that. Because of, you know, I know now how to change my gameplay. And then Black Ops came out, which I did pick up at midnight release. And I started playing with Panda. And this is when I started becoming a lot more serious at the game. And actually got decent. And then after that we had Final Fantasy 13 Part 2 and 13 and this game to play. And I've actually really enjoyed all of my gaming experiences really, but I am hoping that something does overtake COD soon because I'm getting a little bit bored of it personally. But anyway, this gameplay is pretty much over now. As you can see, I cannot take B here, it's just I ran out of time. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a like, and peace out. We'll catch you later.